If you saw my high dive video, you know I don't back down from a challenge. But do I love being thrown into a war zone while being barraged with hard-boiled eggs on an Easter Sunday? Not necessarily. So when I was a kid, some family friends of ours hosted an Easter Sunday party every few years. And it was super cool. They had all sorts of games, they gave out prizes, and each year they kind of felt like they had to outdo whatever they did last year. They started with some simple Easter egg hunts, but year after year, the hunts got more elaborate. I'm talking climbing roofs and crawling through tunneling trenches elaborate. But as the host family's kids got older, the games got more violent. They went from elaborate Easter egg hunts to playing really physical games like Red Rover. It also doesn't help that because my brother's 5 years older than me, a lot of his friends are by default also my friends. Because in my weird in-between age, it's either them or the actual babies. So I usually chose to hang out with them, which is all fine and dandy until the host family starts slowly upgrading in violence with their games every year. They still gave out some cool prizes, but several years down the road, especially seeing as I was a lot smaller than these guys, I started to wonder if the prizes were even worth it anymore. What am I talking about? Do you see that? Who am I kidding? This is awesome! So Easter rolls around one year and I'm ready to risk it all for about $3 worth of sick prizes. We show up, I get out of the car ready for anything, but nothing could have prepared me for what was about to happen. We walk in, everyone's making small talk and playing games, but I'm there for one reason, and that ain't to socialize. Finally, the host gets up and they're like, "Who's ready to play some games?" I've got good news and bad news. The bad news is someone got real hurt last year playing Red Rover. So we needed to mellow out a bit this year with the physical contact games. So we've devised a new game. Gosh, I hope it's not violent. That's even more violent. If you'll follow me to the backyard. We all head out to the porch and he's like, "Behold." I don't know what everyone else thought, but I was definitely looking at a battleground. There were trenches, walls, chicken wire, you name it. And then up on a hill in the distance was this weird looking thing, and I couldn't quite tell what it was. The object of this game, demonstrated by my violent male children, is much like an Easter egg hunt, where the goal is you simply must gather as many eggs as possible. However, you won't be going and looking for these eggs. Oh no. They will be coming to you. Show them. The catch is, some of these eggs are hard-boiled so they won't break. Easier to catch, but more expensive hospital bills. And some of them are raw, straight out the chicken. And the team with the most eggs at the end, and the least amount of broken bones, wins! Huh? I thought the reason they were changing up the games is because people got hurt last year. But this seems 1000% more intense. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what my freaking problem was, but that fuzzy worm on a string, for whatever reason, I felt like I had to have it. Look at it. It's so tantalizing for some reason. And just within reach. Everyone pick a teammate and grab a blanket. Not you, sport. You're too young for this. You see those big, strong, mature high schoolers? There's no way you could compete with them. And there goes my chance. Darn these new rules that prevent unnecessary injury. If I want to risk it all over a fuzzy worm on a string, by golly, let me do it. Go get one of the cookies I baked inside, okay? I put nuts in them, so you know they're fabulous. So I got a raisin and almond gluten-free dirt cookie, and I thought I might as well watch the battle that was about to take place. Hey, I don't have a partner. You snooze, you lose, bro. Wait, where's Boards? Wasn't he here? Yo, Boards, there you are. Come on, get down here. Let's go win this thing. Yes! I had to put my cookie down, if you can even call it that, and then I ran down to partner up with this guy, Jake. And Jake is super cool. We grab our blanket and we're getting super pumped. It's freaking game time, baby. I'm back in the running for fuzzy worm on a string. We walk out in the battleground and stretch out our blankets. And it's right then that it hits me. Not literally, but metaphorically. It just occurs to me that they've rigged this insane slingshot on the top of a hill with like 10-foot high poles. They're pulling this thing so far back, they need a rope just to pull it down and get an egg on the inside. The rough terminal velocity of an egg is 75 miles an hour. A skilled slingshot can launch a small stone about 70 meters per second, which equates to around 156 miles per hour, which is over double terminal velocity. And I found a page on Reddit that says a ridiculously hard-boiled egg would only need to be going about 102 miles an hour to fracture a human skull. That being said, there are two factors that still need to be considered. That's 156 miles an hour almost right out the slingshot, so I need to be standing anywhere between point blank and 20 feet in order for it to be wise for me to start constructing a will. And they're on a hill easily over 150 feet away, which brings me to factor 2, which is that this is no ordinary slingshot. It is a torture machine of death that, as I said, have 10-foot tall poles on each side, and they're pulling it back much farther than your average slingshot. Now, considering wind resistance, distance, and bullet drop, when it's all said and done, by the time an egg reaches us in the trenches, it shouldn't be going more than about 80 to 85 miles an hour. And that's hoping and praying that they're launching eggs upwards instead of straight towards us, which would force each egg, in theory, to hit not much more than terminal velocity on its way down. That being said, I'm still not going to be leading with my head in most cases because 75 miles an hour isn't much less than 102 miles an hour, which is skull-breaking speed realistically. And I don't have a helmet, none of us do. I think that this is a super fun game on paper. Oh yeah, let's shoot eggs at people and they gotta catch them in blankets like giant egg toss. But as we're gearing up, I'm starting to think that the moment this game starts, we might all be regretting this decision. This was just a feeling in my gut telling me something was wrong. Run! But all the big 16-year-olds are there, and they're actual adults. So if they're not scared, then I shouldn't be either. Let the games begin. We start running around frantically, and I'm not sure when, but somewhere in the mix, we stopped running towards the eggs and started running away from them. It turned so quick from catch as many eggs as you can to take cover. If we're lucky, we'll only have a few casualties. I remember vividly running towards the trench and turning around to see what this other team was doing. And one of these dudes sees an egg hitting terminal velocity heading straight towards him, and he turns to run, only to get hit right between the shoulder blades and his C7 vertebrae. It was at that moment that I looked over at Jake. Surely he had things under control, and he looked at me like a disabled guinea pig looking at an incoming hawk. When I first laid eyes on this war zone map in the backyard, I thought, isn't that a bit dangerous? But upon diving into this bunker, I was just glad we had a little bit of cover from this absolute 50 cal on the top of a mountain. I peeked over the edge just to see that the other teams weren't so lucky. It legit felt like an active war zone. Right then, I remember what brought me here in the first place. And I'm like, Jake, we gotta go back out there. Dude, what? Are you crazy? Maybe, but think of the prizes, Jake. Are you sure? I've never been more sure about anything in my whole life. All right, man, lead the way, said the 16-year-old to the 11-year-old right before going into an active war zone. Boards, talk to me. That's what I get for trying to be brave, huh? Don't say that. Stay with me. This is all my fault. I just wanted fuzzy worm on a string. Promise me something, Jake. Anything. Tell my family I love them. And tell my brother it was me that ate all of his Halloween candy? No. Huh? You tell him yourself. Huh? Apparently, they ran out of ammo with the 50 cal, and immediately the host was like, "Everyone inside to see who won!" And we're like, yeah, all right. We all go inside, bruised, broken, and defeated. And the host is like, all right, how many'd y'all get? Who got the most eggs? Anyone? What? Jake? There was no way. Did we actually catch one in all that commotion? I can't believe that. Yeah, we got 2. Looks like we have a winner. Yeah. Okay, so we may or may not have lost the battle. We definitely didn't win, but this still has a happy ending. Did I eventually get my hands on Fuzzy Worm on a String several years later? Maybe. Was I disappointed that it was literally just a worm on a string and it wasn't fun at all? A little. Never meet your heroes, I guess. But anyway, you want to talk about an active war zone? Then check out my video about this college game called Buck Buck. Trauma for decades in that one. Anyway, thanks for watching and happy Easter.